Hey, everybody. Welcome to Kame House Party. I am Aaron.
And I am Vince.
And this, listeners, is the universe's only improv comedy, Dragon Ball watch along podcast. We are watching every episode and iteration of Dragon Ball. We can get our mitts on. We are coming to these microphones before thee to discuss the good word of Dragon Ball. It's getting close to Easter.
Mm-hmm. Well.
We have a whole hour of choir that we have to learn that we're still working on.
I'm going to play the pipe organ.
Mm-hmm.
So I can hit you with a.
Is next week's episode? Should it just be an Easter service?
Congregation, I got to tell you about the good word of Goku, who died for our planet so his son may triumph.
His son forgave us our sins and taught us how to do schoolwork.
On the two wishes made to Shenron that fateful evening, Trunks did rise up, and we chastised the wicked, just like Hercule, a false prophet, worshipped by fools and beggars alike.
Wait, is he talking about me? What do you mean?
Now, I know everybody is welcome in my house of congregation, but I will not tolerate interruptions. You understand me, Mr. Hercule? What? May the church say, Satan.
Yeah. Of course, yeah, the religious out there should hate Hercule.
Yeah, they should.
AKA Satan, father of lies.
Oh, the wicked himself.
Mm-hmm. First of the fallen, son of the man goat,
chupa hombre.
Man,
I just said sucker. Man sucker. I meant to say hombre cabra.
There we go. Man goat? Yes,
man goat.
I did it. Guys, I passed Spanish class, and we're about to pass some more time with you, some quality time, I hope. But before we get into the episode ahead, we have to do a little Kame house keeping. Cleeping? Vince, I think it's going to be one of those episodes. We have to do some Kame house keeping, where we get you, the listener, ready for the podcasting ahead. And the first part of that process is the world famous, UN sanctioned, Olympic Committee approved.
Oh, can I add something?
I don't see why not.
Tariff exempt.
Tariff exempt, yes. There's not extra charges for this. It's still very free. 1 minute, a roundup, sizzling sound.
Ooh, I can't wait to order those fajitas here at Chili's.
Oh, everyone's ordered them, and we see all the plates getting moved around by waiters and waitresses.
Oh, hot. Watch out. Hot.
Hot plate coming through.
Hot plate coming through.
It's like a choreographed dance they're doing.
It's like the Daytona 500 of hot fajitas.
Everyone saw someone get the plate of fajitas, and then it just cascaded to everyone else.
Oh no, there's too many hot fajitas. Hot fajitas.
Ah, my face. I'm being fajitified.
And scene.
Hey, fajitifies me, Captain.
You did that so softly and like convincingly far away from the mic that I thought there was like it could be a new SpongeBob bean. I got feet on.
SpongeBob, you fajita-fied that customer. Not that I care.
Sorry, Squidward. The new Krusty Krab fajitas.
That sizzling's the sound of money. Then complete the quadrant.
Hey, SpongeBob. I heard you got fajitas. Whoa!
Patrick, you're supposed to wait for it to cool down.
I'm sorry, SpongeBob. I've been, playing football and I got CTE.
I know, I'm still helping you with your lawsuit.
All I can think of now is a cutaway to SpongeBob in a courtroom. Dun, 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 dun.
Mr. Krabs is the defending lawyer. The prosecutor.
Oh, and the Honorable Judge Steve Harvey is presiding.
Look, what you just heard was there was rhyme and reason to that, I got to tell you, because that is the beginning of the 1 minute roundup where we do an improvised scene to loosen, and honestly, we need to tighten these improv muscles.
I know, I gotta stop taking my improv muscle relaxant.
I took a improv softener before this. And then we look.
No, we're not done. Cinelax.
I ate the chocolate kind by accident. But it gets us ready for the 1 minute roundup proper, which is where one of us, this time Vince, has to summarize everything that we've covered in Dragon Ball thus far. At this point, it's a lot of episodes. We've done 357 episodes of Dragon Ball. That's so much that has to get covered in 1 minute. And we do it so you don't have to go back and listen to our old episodes if you don't want to, although a lot of you do, and we appreciate it. You don't have to watch Dragon Ball again if you don't want to. Again, a lot of you do. No, we need the 1 minute roundup.
Yeah.
I'm not going to talk myself out of doing it because it seems pointless. It's entertainment, baby.
Yeah. It's a challenge for my brain.
Yeah, I'm like any CEO, I'm challenging you to look at this as an opportunity. So I gotta ask, Vince, are you ready to round up?
I put it in my review. And yes, I am. And here I... extra deep breath. Go. Collect 7 mystical orbs on Earth. You get to wish for anything you want. The story follows Goku. He's a little monkey boy. He goes on lots of adventures. Makes a lot of friends. He saves the world a bunch of times. He fights in 3 Tenkaichi tournaments. After that, some Saiyans come from outer space to challenge Goku to a fight over the Dragon Balls. Along the way, his friends die, but Goku gets really strong and he beats this guy, Vegeta. Then they have to go to Namek, where the Dragon Balls are from, to get everybody back. Along the way, Goku fights the Ginyu Force and Frieza, the baddest dude in the universe. Namek explodes. Goku wins and turns into the legendary Super Saiyan. He comes back to Earth only to find that there is another Super Saiyan that came from the future named Trunks, who gives Goku some pills because he's going to have a heart attack, and the androids are coming, so they have to prepare. And then there's a bigger, badder android that's a bug and absorbs all the other androids, gets super strong. There's one that's got like a mohawk, tries to blow up, he doesn't, and then Goku's son ends up beating the big bad android Cell. After that, Trunks goes back to his version of the future, saves it from the androids and a nascent Cell. Then Goku is in Otherworld, going on another adventure with King Kai, Bubbles, and Gregory.
Oh, you got them in there. That's very nice. Look, I gotta rate that 1 minute roundup satisfactory. No, it's above and beyond, of course.
Thank you very much. I hope that my memo about increased bonuses this year to compensate for the increased cost of living
sorry, it's not in the budget. A thing we determine a year before you do any actual work. So it also seems like all your extra efforts kind of pointless because we've determined how much money we can give you anyway.
Wow. Somebody's done their economics homework.
Someone has a job.
Is it tax day yet?
When this comes out, it will be tax day. Please, I hope your tax, if you're here in the United States, I hope your taxes are done. That you're not listening to this while you're doing taxes. We're too distracting.
Oh, absolutely. You're gonna put something from box 13 and box 12, and you're gonna owe the feds quite a bit.
I am looking to become someone's dependent, though, if anyone out there wants to claim me.
I wish I could claim all these pets I have.
I know, they should.
I should. If I take my dog to work, that's a dependent.
If
hit him.
Thank you, Jeff Foxworth. If you pay for your pet's medical bills, that's a dependent.
I'm now trying to think of a Ron White style bit, and it just seems vulgar. And I don't have a cigar.
Yeah, you don't just have a giant thing of whiskey handy.
And we look in the late 2000s. We all watched that. And was like, that's our guy.
Wow. What a cool man.
What a cool cat. Finishing a fifth of Jack on stage, smoking a stogie.
Not a problem at all.
Calling himself Tater Salad.
If dogs can have jobs, which they do.
Right.
Okay, all right. It's a filler episode-ish, kind of. I don't know, maybe. Anyway, we have time to talk about this. So I think the idea is that children are dependents from a legal standpoint because they are not at the age where they can legally provide value for shareholders.
Right.
So until then, they're a dependent. Now, dogs and cats can have jobs. So I think if a dog is a police dog, ACAB, a cat is a mouser, AMAB,
or a cafe employee.
A cafe cat, that's a working cat.
That's a working cat.
They can't be dependents. They're earning a living.
So you're saying I should be able to claim my cat Tokyo for doing advertising for Tokyo Treat?
I think, well, no, you can't because they're not dependent anymore. They're working.
Oh,
that's what I'm saying.
Tokyo, you got to do your taxes.
Since dogs and cats have the ability to work and shouldn't be paid money, they could be dependents. That's it. Your Honor.
All right.
Your Honor, Steve Harvey.
Oh, he only did that for one season. He gave away like $16 or like $50,000 or something like that. Every court case that I saw of Judge Steve Harvey, he'd hear these people's ridiculous claims of like so-and-so did this and took this, or like didn't pay me back for this, or my husband's playing that game too much, Steve. And Steve is like, I'm going to give you both $5,000. He could get a new gaming setup, and this other $5,000, y'all can take yourself on a nice vacation away from the games. Thank you, Steve.
That's just to get it. It was an excuse.
I think it was a big old tax break for Steve Harvey.
50 grand worth of tax breaks. Well, thinking about him, just like Steve Harvey has more money to give away than that.
But he's probably got to do it through a bunch of different shows, because they renewed him. They'd have to pay him, and then he'd be like, "No, I don't want that. I want the refund. I want the charitable donation tax. Give me that."
Is there? I don't know how. Again, talking about taxes, stressing everyone the fuck out. There has to. I think there's a limit on gift money too, right?
There is.
He doesn't want to pull an Oprah. Make them pay taxes on cars.
Steve Harvey thinks of the people.
He does, and we don't want to linger in the Kame housekeeping too much longer because we have to get to the next part. which is where we inform you that we listen to 2 different versions of the episode. I listen to the English subtitled version. Vince listens to the English dubbed Funimation version. And we do this because it is fun to compare and contrast. Sometimes there are big differences. Sometimes there are little differences. Minuscule. Like my tax return. And the first difference is usually the title. So, Vince, will you please give us the title for your episode?
I will, and I'll do it with a little bit of gusto. Here it comes. Episode 195 of Dragon Ball Z. Warriors of the Dead.
Directed by George A. Romero.
Thank you for putting the button on that.
That's ominous. What it shouldn't be.
Right? Doesn't fit the tone of the episode, which we'll get into after. Aaron, you give us your title of this week's episode.
Will, and it's a goofy one. Here we go.
Oh, I'm going to sit back.
The title for episode 195 of Dragon Ball Z from the original Japanese, roughly translated, is A Deep Impression. There they are, the next world's awesome dudes.
Of all of our years. Aaron, hit me with that one more time.
A deep impression.
Yeah.
2 exclamation marks. There they are. 1 exclamation mark. The next world's awesome dudes. Period.
Right on, brother. Right on.
It's just the Ninja Turtles.
Heroes that are dead now.
Well, they'd outlive Splinter if you go by
Yeah.
turtle and rat lifespan.
Yep, it's only natural.
Mm-hmm.
Splinter died at 22.
Ripe old age for a rat, I'm assuming. For a rat man.
Oldest rat man in history.
The funeral, they had a public funeral.
Mayor Eric Adams did not attend.
No. Anyone in a union, people, if you're a union, you did not attend.
You did not attend.
Stay away.
Oh, dude, they had the big rat out on on Broadway down in Soho this week.
Love that.
The people crossing the picket lines, just scabbing over at Arc'teryx. Fuck them.
No scabs.
Arc'teryx. Didn't know they were in a union, but good for them because that's some expensive outdoorsy equipment that I can't afford.
Yeah, they should be able to get more of a cut. They're doing the work.
Everybody should get a bigger cut.
You're right. Everyone should get paid. Really, there are people. There's like 10 people in the world who disagree with that, and so it doesn't happen.
It's nuts. It's truly insane. But there are more, Aaron, than 10 people that we eventually meet throughout this episode of Dragon Ball Z, just to get us back on track.
Let's get before we get real deep on a rant. Let's rant about Dragon Ball because we see Goku, King Kai, Gregory, Bubbles. They're going down Snake Way, and what I thought last episode was Goku riding on the back of King Kai in a Yoda situation is actually him just pushing him forward, which is still rude, but less so.
Very, very rude. And I just have one highlight from the recap.
Oh, the very long recap, yes.
The very long recap that for the 3rd episode in a row, we've been reminded that Gohan defeated Cell and that Goku died for Earth. And there's a bit where Goku is playing with Bubbles and the announcer says, while Goku went to recess with Bubbles and Gregory, King Kai toiled away, building a new home, but it was all for naught. And I just loved that everybody thought Goku regressed to that of a child.
Well, Goku got his baba. and laid down for a nap on one of those weird mats with no blanket.
King Kai finally got to watch Days of Our Lives.
King Kai got some light housework done and started prepping dinner.
Only the best for Goku. Spaghetti and meatballs are always on the menu.
Because Gregory was older, he got time with the tablet and played some Roblox with friends.
Bubbles, on the other hand, an analog kid through and through. Put together a Paw Patrol puzzle. Upside down.
When Goku wakes up, he's going to be real fussy. Next on Dragon Ball Z. So Goku is very excited about because he wants to meet these dead guys. He wants to start training, fighting, meeting new people. And King Kai is mad. He's like, Goku, we're dead. Time is infinite for us now. So what's the rush, pal? Then King Kai. This is an episode where King Kai is just embarrassed and frustrated
by Goku's rudeness.
He's very rude, crude in this. Yells at Goku for not referring to who we're going to meet eventually, the Grand Kai, by not adding the suffix sama. That's a running bit in this. And we get a little. We've learned from Master Researcher Nick in the past about the cosmology. We get a little more of it, where it is there are 4 different quadrants of space, the universe. They are judged by the cardinal directions:
north, south, east, and west. Each with a Kai to preside over those regions. And then like they do show the representation of the universe as like a giant sphere that's able to fit in the superimposed hand and shadowy figure of the Grand Kai. And in mine, King Kai is like, so you understand like that I am a king and like we all have our jurisdiction, but there's someone that sits above all of us in a different plane of existence, and that is the Grand Kai. And that gets Goku so excited, he starts taking off running, thinking that he's got to go through, like, got to get down Snake Way to get to this guy. And then they do, I think they do 4 times this bit of Goku running away.
Not the rule of 3s?
No, I think they do a rule of 4s for a button. I guess after the third, they do the actual joke. But Goku runs forward, and then he runs backward to ask one more question about the Grand Kai, one more question about what direction, and then Goku finally comes back and says, "Oh, I figured this will be faster." And then they instant transmission to King Yama's place because they have to get on a plane to get to the Grand Kai's world.
I thought when Goku asked this question, and King Kai just like, "You have to take an airplane." I thought he was busting balls. I'm like, no, an airplane, get out of here. No, it's true. You do have to take a plane.
Not only is it true, but it's like commercial level airliners that we get to see out, like just outside of King Yama's place. And they do a bunch of little runners. Like they do like, oh, what is an airport full of souls like? And they do like, if you're in boarding group A, please, blah, blah, blah. There are Onis abound. We get a lot of different Onis in this episode, which is always fun. Yeah, they're all unique.
They're directing people onto the plane. There's one who tries to stop Goku because Goku does cut in line of all the spirits. Rude. It's an episode of Goku being rude as hell the whole time. Yama invites him to tea, declines. There's some Oni, there's some fucking dork. tries to stop him. He's like, hey, you cut in line. And then he sort of pokes at Goku and is like, oh, wait, you have a body. The thing that only special martial artists can have. Right this way, sir.
I'll simp.
Oh, man, even though I have a body, this is crazy.
Oh, I've seen you being posted on r/Simps Anonymous.
Can I see your feet real quick? And then
you're not going to believe when I post this.
The Discord's going to go nuts.
Sorry, the Discord's going to go toes.
Toes up, yeah. There's a toes up emote. There's a toes countdown.
Throw your little piggies in chat.
I call my fans my arches because they support me.
Oh, that's good. That's good. I don't want to go any further there. No. We could jump to like the souls getting on the commercial airliners. You assume like, oh, the higher plane that's gonna take us to Grand Kai's world. That's got to be something special, right?
A G6, as the song talked about.
Well, this is a G0 because it is cartoonishly slapdash together. It's even got one of those like old school like biplane rigging lines attaching the fin to the body of the plane. And poor Goku's complaining. He goes, "Oh, I wanted to get on one of those fancy planes." And then we get kind of a quick stop down to admire outer world from high above. And I wrote this in my notes. I said, a shame that Gregory and Bubbles don't get to go.
Bubbles has a white handkerchief to wave them goodbye as they go off to war. What are they going to do?
I know. What are they going to do? Bug King Yemma?
I guess.
I would hate to be King Yemma and have to babysit Gregory and Bubbles.
Hey, man. Do you have any games on your phone?
Oh, I do not have games on my phone. I am trying to get through millions of souls from across the universe.
I can help. I'm really good at stuff. I can.
What?
Do you need someone to go fast?
Only if you can stamp this paperwork quickly.
All right, here I go. All done. Everyone gets into heaven.
That's terrible. I've never been so disappointed in someone's output in a long time. Why can't you be like Bubbles?
Bubbles, who's sentencing everyone to hell? Boomp.
It's a necessary part of the job.
I just don't think we should judge people on their deeds during life when there was literally no information or reassurance about an afterlife and how it works. Just seems kind of cruel.
Question. Why did you get to keep your body?
I'm a great martial artist from a bug planet.
Checks paperwork.
I pulled a Goku. There's a guy named Exoskeleton who looked kind of like a human, and I trained my insect son to fight him. This sounds familiar.
Yeah, I can't quite put my giant finger on it.
I mean, stories are universal, so it makes sense that there could be some similarities to other things that have happened.
I'm sorry, Gregory. Bubbles, no, that's Mother Superior. Woohoo!
Bubbles saw Conclave and he's like, anti-Catholic Church now? Also before, which makes sense. He's justified, is what I'm saying.
And
Bubbles the Dark Sentencer.
I love it. We need more Bubbles lore.
Look, here's when everyone, after you die and you go to the afterlife and you have to meet Bubbles, just bring a banana. He'll let you in.
Easy money.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you can get by St. John. Just toss Bubbles a banana.
You know how you have to put coins over your eyes for the ferryman? Just put a plantain over your peepers.
Plantain over your peepers.
Just in the coffin, crying.
You're an all-natural Geordie LaForge.
He's wearing his tropical visor today.
Well, actually, Captain, I was able to synthesize potassium into something I could view things through, an electromagnetic pulse from my eye holes.
One question. Is everything yellow? Tee-hee.
Captain.
Riker's in the background, plays the sad trombone.
He hit some of the trombone from the back.
Riker! What have I said?
What if I told you, Captain, that was a falsehood?
Something boys in engineering cooked up. Okay, and see, we have to.
And see, we do. There are things in this episode. We swear there are things in this episode.
We're getting to the more interesting part. We do. Yeah. The Grand Kai's love baby little planets.
Oh, yeah.
This one's much bigger than King Kai's, which Goku points out. Again, rude as hell. Man dies and loses all his decorum. I'm still upset at how I think because in the past he was just more ignorant.
Oh yeah.
He's more country than rock and roll.
Yep.
Where this he's just a jerk, kind of.
Yeah, this is just willfully obtuse Goku now. This is the kind of cunning, sly Goku that I think we can expect throughout the rest of the series. A Goku that feigns ignorance or that he doesn't understand the ways of the world, but instead he's more like, eh?
A lot bigger than your planet, King Kai.
I wonder what that is. I wonder who's compensating for what. I mean, big is better than small?
Yes. I'm hungry. Tee. I almost let it say. He's got an L from Death Note level monologue in his head. I almost let them know I'm super intelligent.
Careful, Goku. They'll find you out.
Vegeta's just eating candy. I know your secret, Goku. You have the Death Note.
I know what you did, Goku. You got your degree from Phoenix online.
In martial arts.
You minored in social studies and economics.
I guess you had time not raising your child.
Vegeta, it'd be in your best interest to shut the hell up. Or I'll tell Bulma about your search history.
My wife's boobs. Here's the thing. Vegeta does not... Look, get that button ready. Because I guarantee Vegeta, if he's searching for stuff, it's like Bulma, hot.
I gotta, because, buddy, I want that to be canon, not Nick Cannon. It's true. Mark that out. Add that to the wiki. Vegeta searches his own wife on the internet.
Tells her afterwards, I did it again. I feel so guilty. Rolls her eyes. Draws.
Get in the bath.
All right, I'll get the faucet going.
But and that's a perfect segue to kind of like the feeling that Daima kind of gave with like all of the moving between the different worlds.
Mhm.
Like the shimmery cosmic effect of being in that otherworldly existence, I think is kind of like expertly realized in Daima. And I took a lot of like what we see in this episode as things that were definitely influential in like how they crafted and like how they expanded the other world to outer world kind of analogy. Even with like the supreme beings and stuff like that in Daima. But
we land and we meet a bunch of freaky guys.
Oh my God, can we talk about these guys?
2 bird twins.
For I guess forever locked in combat beneath their robes, only showing us enough to see their chicken feet.
Mm-hmm.
Red versus blue.
Some other, the rest.
I wrote them all down. I said turtle, lizard, Tai Chi man.
All right.
Navy blue H nose, like the guy that he has an H for a nose and like kind of bug eyes, blue, like navy blue scaly skin, and he's doing like he's on his millionth or 3 millionth one-arm push-up.
Millionth?
Yeah. In mine he goes like 3,000,005.
Mine's reasonable. He's in the 4,000s.
And then there are 2 humanoid kind of more normal looking guys that say like, "Hey, King Kai, long time no see." And Goku's like, "Man, you sure are popular." He goes, "I know everybody from the north. And these guys, Goku, are 2,000 years your senior." And Goku's like, "Ha ha, 2,000 years?" Riker.
Yeah. They've been training. Yeah. In mine, he's like, "They've been training that long?" I'm like, guys, don't you want to leave this on? I guess it's like either this or disembodied heaven. I don't know.
It feels like for characters like Goku to have their body and to be able to train on Grand Kai's workout world in the Gold's Gym of the universe is like the highest honor.
I don't want to do anything for 2,000 years.
I don't think I want to do anything for 2,000 years either.
Nah, I could nap.
Actually,
I want to not experience it, I guess is what I'm saying.
You know what? You know what I would take? The part about Otherworld, if you get to keep your body, like you don't get tired, right? You don't really get hurt.
Mm-hmm.
And in that sense, man, if I could go to basketball heaven,
ooh,
I hope I get to go to I want basketball heaven.
Basketball heaven's pretty good.
Yeah,
they'd have you'd have seasons. There's off seasons and all that. It can't just be basketball. It can't be Valhalla, but basketball.
No, it's not Valhalla, but basketball. But it is like every couple hundred years, though. There's like a huge Otherworld basketball, like NCAA tournament type
Millennium
deal.
Madness.
Oh God, Millennium Madness.
1 million teams compete over the course of 1,000 years.
Oh, I'm entering the 2-on-2 tournament with my favorite player, Dikembe. So he can be a big guy going, "No, no, no." And I can be a little guy going, "No, no, no."
Well, look, much like the NBA during March Madness, on occasion we got to cut to a commercial.
With me, Charles Barkley. The bank is open.
Welcome, one and all, to Riley Hopkins and their amazing friends, the actual play podcast that steals. What does that mean? That means that we take stories from corporations and come back and tell our own fanfic-inspired actual plays with them. We do things like a Star Wars podcast that takes place 300 years after The Last Jedi. What if any Zoids media was good? We tell stories in those spaces that are better than the ones that the corporations tell us, because we're not fucking cowards. Please, come join us at Riley Hopkins and their amazing friends to hear a plethora of wonderful stories every once in a while on the Moonshot Podcast Network. Riley Hopkins and their amazing friends. Hosted by me, Riley Hopkins.
Thanks to Capital One.
So we see the Grand Kai's grand mansion. In mine, at least, I was like, is this the casino levels from Sonic the Hedgehog 2?
That's a good one. That's a really good pull. I was a little bit more distracted, just like King Kai is distracted, by that classic Chevy. Ooh, baby.
Was it a Chevy or a Cadillac? That baby blue.
The logo was the
V?
That V. That's that's Chevy.
Oh, okay. Now I understand. Now I understand. Cadillac is the shield thing.
Yes,
you know. You're very aware.
I actually do know
for various reasons.
Know about the liveries and logos of car companies because I had to watch somebody toil away to make a new one for Cadillac.
I think what confused me was a lot of things, but in the animated show, Cadillacs and Dinosaurs, I think they were all just driving Chevys because they had the V logo.
Yeah.
Like, wait a minute. Half the show's a lie.
Well, they assume, rightfully so, that most children don't care or know.
This feels like a quicksand situation. I've been lied to through cartoons.
Look, I'm with you there. For decades, the thing I was afraid of the most in any jungle or forest situation, deciduous, tropical or otherwise, was, hey, you gotta watch out for quicksand. I think to the point where I went on a camping trip and I probably asked the Boy Scouts, do we have to be careful of quicksand? And then they were like,
they took your
this
badges.
guy. Oh, we forgot salt for the eggs. Too bad.
Eat. Here are the driest eggs you've ever had. Enjoy.
I can't tell you how excited my dad and I were to leave that camping situation and go right to McDonald's.
I get nostalgic from camping in the Scouts for some people call them silver turtles, some people call them camp burgers, but you take ground beef, carrots, potato, onion, if you have a more refined palate, you salt and pepper it. Before you leave, wrap them in tinfoil. Then that night, you place them by the fire and you wait, I'm going to say too long. And it cooks it up right there. And it's pretty, I mean, it's hard to beat meat and potato and carrot.
It's hard to beat, but I wish I had that kind of experience because I don't even really remember eating dinner that wasn't s'mores on that like weekend trip. But I don't think I had ever understood the blackness that was contained within my father until we came back. And I'm pretty sure I heard him say, I'm not taking my son to do any more of that white people shit to my mother. He was just so not about it. And he tried to put on a brave face.
Not wrong. Think about in your adult life, think about the people who camp, and we'll leave it at that.
We'll let you fill in the blanks there.
Just like we're filling in the blanks of who runs the different parts of the universe, as King Kai is checking out that car. We see another Kai. I forget he's just the Kai of the West.
Yeah.
And he's shorter than King Kai.
Yep.
Looks German-esque. He's got like a Colonel Klink from Hogan's Heroes, if I can be old for a second. Monocle, weird helmet, hat.
Right.
But they hate each other.
Ooh, yeah. That's a beef that goes all the way back to the cow. You know what I'm saying?
I've not heard that before. That's very good.
I hadn't heard it before I said it either.
Oh shit! What? Everyone use this. This is the new shirt.
This is a new shirt. That beef goes back to the cow.
Yeah. And it's just the Chick-fil-A cow.
Goku steps in to kind of break up this little argument, this tiff. And then the West Kai realizes that King Kai is actually dead and can't stop laughing. And he says, in mind, he says, because King Kai is like, what's so funny? And he goes, what's so funny is the North Kai is dead. After all your corny jokes, it's about time you were funny.
Ooh, very similar to mine, but yeah.
It's a good burn.
And that's King Kai's main beef, not that like it's like, what do you mean my jokes are funny, huh? Have you heard this one? He's very that's his main concern. In the background, we have a tall, green, stoic, turban wearing character
whose name starts with a P.
Mm-hmm. In mine, they call him Paikuhan.
Okay. In mine, they call him PyCon.
PyCon.
Talk about a PyCon living. Started regular believe he just did it.
Yeah, it's we can call him PyCon. That's less syllables. So I'm for it.
Yeah. Not to be confused with Pyacon from the James Cameron Avatar movie.
What?
Different. A different guy.
Who is Pyacon?
Pyacon is the whale from the new one, The Way of Water. Because all of my media, it forces me to understand these movies that I refuse to see.
The name of the whale.
I tell you, when that movie came out, all of my feed was just like clips of Avatar swimming in the water and like this big whale eye and some AI voice going, "This is Pyacon. He is a giant whale from the Avatar Blue Planet." Blah 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 blah.
Was it Peter Griffin describing it? It is Pyacon, Stewie. He soul bonded to one of the Na'vi.
No, I can't wait because I've said that out, like we've talked about that out loud. It's gonna show up in my feed.
Sometimes I will get is Peter Griffin explaining the lore and story behind Coheed and Cambria albums, and I'm like, whoa.
This is the technology that was supposed to buoy the American economy. We're gonna be first in the world.
I hate it.
I miss AI presidents playing Minecraft. Take me back.
That was last year.
Feels like forever ago. It must be the effect of Otherworld, Aaron, because as we know, time does not exist in the same way in Otherworld. Just like we keep getting lost in our own tangents.
Because we we hear a voice in the background, an explosion. Ooh, what? Oh, we'll get to that. We'll get to hear that gorgeous voice. There's an announcement. Everyone starts bowing. King Kai has to tell Goku to put his head down. There's an explosion, and then in the Grand Kai is revealed. Let me describe this man, and then we'll hear that impression, because this is age goals for me. A nice jean and vest combo. White
Mhm.
shirt, brown motorcycle boots, and brown gloves. A backwards hat. A boom box. He's got the JBL. He's this giant beard, pointy. This is what Master Roshi wishes he could be.
Yeah, I wrote in my notes, this is the fusion of King Kai and Master Roshi. They did the fusion dance.
But give me my voice. I think the voice I have is very different than yours. If you could give us a little taste.
I don't know how you categorize this kind of guy, but it's like ZZ Top, but like a little bit more hip hop adjacent. And because he announces himself to stop the fight, and he's like, and you just hear, "Hold on," and then he comes down, and when he talks to PyCon, he's like, "PyCon, I need you to head down to the home for infinite losers. There's this guy Cell running amok, and this other guy Frieza that got down there recently, and I need you to handle it." So he is a smooth, raspy dude.
What it reminds me is I think you're doing a Rolf of Muppets fame.
Very
Is where we're
Rolfy.
at. Yeah, Rolf-like.
He's
My
a
favorite
Rolf-like.
Aren't there enough of those?
Honestly, no. We need more Rolf-likes.
We do need more. Seems like every publisher's trying to do one.
You see FromSoft released their own Rolf-like on Nintendo Switch 2 exclusive.
Exclusive.
Rolf Bloods.
So in mine, I think they do more of a little juxtaposition thing because he has it's a falsetto he's doing, which is interesting. But yeah,
what music was coming out of that speaker though? That's what I really wanted.
I don't remember. I was my eyes were distracting my ears.
It felt like the English version, they couldn't use certain music, or maybe in what I saw on Crunchyroll, maybe they had like some licensing issues or something. Because the music that was in there was very tempt and soft. Like it just felt like almost generic Dragon Ball non-specific rock music.
Okay.
And I was like mad. I was like, I bet Aaron got some really cool like J-rock song from the late 80s or something.
I'm sorry, I don't remember. I cannot share that. But we can share in Goku's fears at the mention of a Cell and a Frieza causing havoc in Heck. I do want to talk about the cut we get of Cell in front of King Yama. And in mine, he says, quote, "Cell, you go to hell."
Oh, yes.
He had to do it to
number
him.
2 from this episode. Cell, you go to hell, and it's just Cell over a trap door.
Yep.
Yeah.
And he fall. I was like, that's good. I was like, that's what I would say. So PyCon dips out of there. Goku in hot pursuit because he knows how dangerous these gentlemen are. And then we're in hell. It's quick. It's a quick flight from there to hell, I guess.
A quick flight for those two. I did want to point out that PyCon's voice is just what you think it is. Just east of Piccolo, I'd say. I didn't ask for your help. That's what he says to Goku when they land.
Maybe the only thing he says in the episode.
Except for like the very end. But before we get to that, we got to get to a rustling in the bushes. Goku takes a fighting stance, thinking it's Cell who's going to attack like someone in a stealth video game. But out rolls Gaz and Mez, our two favorite Oni of the series, the guys that run the Home for Infinite Losers. And they're like, "Oh, we thought you were Cell's guys. We're so glad it's you, Goku." And then we cut to the rogues gallery of bad guys. Cell interrogating an Oni trying to get a way out. He's like, "I know there's a way out of here, and you better tell me." And then we see the dead versions of the Ginyu Force, Frieza, who's got cat's eyes now. They painted on some. Frieza got some mascara. Frieza's
I'm
got
trying a
cat's
new
eyes.
look. It's hell. Why not?
They've got a Sephora down here.
It's not as fashion sin if you're in hell.
King Cold is there as well.
Again, let's point out that Captain Ginyu himself, still alive, still a frog.
Still alive, still a frog. Avoided being housed in loserdom.
Right away, off the rip. Why these fuckers get to keep their bodies? They should be little poofs.
So I don't know if we'll get some research on this or not, but I have a feeling that there are beings powerful enough to keep their bodies.
Okay.
You know what I mean? I think it's something as simple as that. Like, those guys are all so strong that even King Yema can sentence them all he wants.
Yeah.
But he can't, like, rip their soul from their body or however.
He can't Shang-Chi them.
No, he cannot Shang-Chi them.
Right?
Shang-Chi them.
Shang-Chi, yes.
Shang-Chi. Also, for, plot reasons, it's more fun to have Goku fight these guys again.
I mean, yes. Cell is he's got a boot on someone, tosses him into I guess they're just random. There were random spike gardens, the perimeter of hell. Goku saves him in time, and the fight's on. First up is the Ginyu Force, and Goku just some of the fastest matches we've seen.
And we get like this false Super Saiyan. Like Goku, like his hair stands up. He's got the golden aura, but his hair doesn't change color. So he's like in this ascended base form. I don't know what we would call it.
Yeah. He's not
Pseudo Super Saiyan or whatever. PSSJ.
Frieza and King Cold they hate this. They're wondering how Goku got so powerful. So alleviates their fears. He's like, don't worry about it. After all, I was the one that killed him.
Oh, right. So you will handle this, won't you? And then Cell charges at Goku, only to get kicked in the face by Johnny Storm. It's not Johnny Storm. It's Pycon. And we get to see Pycon fight for the first time.
He's got fire powers. He instantly knocks Cell into the lake that he was knocking everyone else into. Transmits over to Frieza. Elbows King Cold. Kicks a Frieza.
Knocks them both out swiftly.
Mm-hmm.
And then Pycon does like a little like spin to like suck everybody up, and they flash cut to all those bad dudes in a cell, stupefied and bewildered. And then Raccoon, as they like, this is definitely ADR'd because it's like, it's dark. It pulls out and it's dark in the cell. And Raccoon's like, anybody want to arm wrestle? And they all say, no.
That's
the episode ends with Goku and Pycon. Wait, sorry.
Oh, there's a less funny version where I think it's actually King Cold, who's just like, imagine being trampled like that and not dying. It's like being in hell. Ba-da-ba-ba-da-ba.
Wow. Riker.
Captain, bad joke approaching on Starboard.
Commander Data, swerve.
Don't catch me with that ship.
Commander Data, hit the E-brake. They'll fly right by.
Everyone, turn the lights off.
Wesley Crusher, eat a battery. You'll fool the breathalyzer.
Wesley, I need you to breathe into this tube or the starship won't start.
I've been drinking Gamorrean brandy.
And fencing. Right?
Yeah, he does some fencing, I'm sure, in that holodeck. Picard gets up to some wild
that
shit in that
Riker?
holodeck. No, Riker's not a fencer. Riker's in the holodeck rizzing up 50s pinup models and stuff like that. He's in some gin joint somewhere playing the goddamn trombone and getting all the virtual ladies hot and bothered.
I'm playing trombone for Hatsune Miku in the holodeck. Don't wait up.
Riker, in my ready room.
It's almost Miku Miku Beam. Captain, please.
No time, Commander Riker. The Miku Miku beam can wait.
All right. All right, walking out pantsless. Here we go. Yes, Captain.
I'm more laughing that you don't know how the Enterprise is set up because the holodeck's nowhere near the ready room.
He'd walk down the hall.
There's two turbo lifts between him and Picard's ready room. Jesus.
He'd have time to be pantsed. Just a towel.
Computer, pants Riker.
No, not the prank.
Seems like Wesley's gotten into the computer AI again.
Q's just like, I'm not needed here. There's enough mischief going around.
Yeah, Q's like, what's going on in this universe?
Are we just doing a next gen rewatch at some point? Slash regular watch? Don't Gen Z stick your tongue out at me.
Sorry.
Blah.
Blah. I've been listening to too much Megan Thee Stallion.
Goku. Speaking of some thoughts, Goku is. She's not. She's wonderful. Does she call it? She's not call herself a thought. Canonical.
Not
no,
Meg.
No. She's the. She's not that. She's the.
She's the.
This is getting cut out. I don't.
No, leave it in. She'd love this.
Okay.
Meg, we know you listen.
Mm-hmm.
We'll never invite you on, but we know you listen.
Things I know. She's a weeb and a baddie.
Yes. Check and check.
From Texas. Waist and
That's right.
European size.
From the motherfucking South.
Mm-hmm. We look Goku and Pycon. Just standing over a ledge, watching over their handiwork, sort of congratulating each other. Goku like loves this dude. Is like, wow, you're strong, you're awesome. I can't wait to fight you.
Oh, I like that. I like how direct your episode is about what Goku really wants out of this, which is fighting. In mine, he's just like, I guess you really didn't need my help. And Pycon's like, yeah, but thanks.
Thank you. Thanks for loosening off.
So like, yeah, look. They end the episode on mutual respect. They locked up the baddies. But you can't cuff Meg. But like we strayed so far from this because it is a very heavy filler episode. But a fun one. We got introduced to Pycon. We got to see a little bit of his powers. I think the animation is coming back a little bit. So in my mind, like the reason why we've gotten so many very long intros and recaps is because in the airing of these episodes, there's probably a very a longer than normal hiatus, right? And we're still going to be in the midst of some filler before we get time jump to Teen Gohan, but we're moving through. I can't believe you mentioned how many episodes we've done of Dragon Ball Z, and it's nuts. So with that, a huge thank you for tuning in, and thank you to all of our patrons for supporting the podcast. We do have an email from Master Researcher Nick. The title is Super Saiyan Power and Abuse/Misuse of Wishes.
Okay.
Nick writes, "Hey, Vince and Aaron, first off, yes, black hair with the yellow aura is technically a type of transformation called Super Saiyan Power. Thank you. I can now sleep at night knowing what that's officially called, which may or may not be similar to the false Super Saiyan transformation in Lord Slug. So from that Slug movie, that like RNG, Kaioken-ish kind of Goku. In the last episode's preview for this episode, Goku did turn Super Saiyan, but then for whatever reason, wink, the animators changed it so that his hair is black."
Okay.
Nick goes on to write, "Lest you think this is a one-off moment, this transformation comes back a few times, including in Dragon Ball Daima episode Pansy, as the form Goku used to beat the royal guard of Pansy's dad." Makes some more sense. We're connecting everything. I like that Nick was on the same wavelength as me, bringing in Daima. Lastly, the episode's narrator got me thinking, the Dragon team are terrible with their wish use. After Frieza, they asked that all the people killed by Frieza and his men were brought back to life. Does that include the island and the military forces wiped off the face of planet Earth by Nappa? Plus, for the wish after Cell, they asked that all the people killed from Cell to come back, not all the people who probably died on the island that Jiro and Android 19 arrived and blew up a partial chunk of. So two things on that. Being wiped out by Frieza's force, would that include Nappa coming back? Because technically Vegeta was part of the Frieza force at that time.
That's so many people. Here's the thing.
Yeah.
You remember that bug planet that they blew up?
Mm-hmm.
If that's the case, all those bugs come back. But they come back to just the coldness of space and instantly die.
And then they die again.
Mm-hmm.
Of a natural cause and can never be wished back.
It is.
So I'm with you there.
I don't. Maybe, but yeah, they definitely skipped everyone that Jiro and 19 killed. Whoopsie.
Yeah. Including 17 and 18, right? So it would have been better if they could have like put a date to it, I guess. Like, hey, bring back everybody who died between this date and this date.
Mm-hmm. Unless it was unless you get into time where the dragon has awareness of like, oh, these people, it was natural because that was their time on the whole checking my notes.
But then I think that then gets into like a monkey's paw type situation. Which we haven't seen that much of, like within Dragon Wishes. I wonder if like future Dragon Ball will have like there's still some Namekians out there that can make Dragon Balls from the Dragon Clan, and this one's a cheeky monkey. And
yeah,
like, you gotta find 3.5 Dragon Balls. There's a little bit more to Nick's email. In case you think the Dragon team gets more responsible with their wishes, mini spoiler alert for Boo, the Dragon Balls get used twice in ways that will make you go, huh? So I'm excited to get to that because I don't remember the context there.
Maybe
keep
Yamcha
fighting,
that
Master Researcher Nick. P.S. I really didn't expect Vince to take notes on last week's roundup. That was hysterical.
Aw. I mean,
it's not hysterical. It's necessary. It's medically necessary for me to take notes to understand all of this. You were so nice to put it all out there for us. So thank you, Nick.
Yeah. You're a visual learner.
I wish I could have told my math teacher that in high school. Draw me a picture, dummy.
Do the problem on the board. Don't just tell me about people and their apples. Why word problems?
Because we didn't have DEI back then. We weren't diverse or equitable in our inclusion of other ways of learning. But we hope you learned something about us and or Dragon Ball today.
Yes.
Along with what Nick added. Again, another huge thank you to our patrons. Thank you for keeping the light on. Thanks to Tokyo Treat for sponsoring the podcast. We're huge fans, and you can go to team.tokyotreat.com/Kame. Tell them Kame House Party saying you get $5 off your first box. Help support us, help support them, supports the show. It's great. I think there's still time, and I want to plug Balls, the Monster-Catchin musical. Google it. They've been getting write-ups all up and down here in New York. They got the real Professor Oak to be a part of their Pokemon musical parody. And it should be a really fun time. I think you can get the tickets now. Go to Caveat's website and go to Balls the Musical. They may be running some kind of promo, so follow Balls the Monster-Catchin Musical on Instagram. It's got a lot of fun friends of the podcast, Kurt, Brandon, and many, many more. So just want to give a big shout out to that.
Look, maybe there'll be a link in the show notes.
Much appreciated if there is a link in the show notes. And yeah, Aaron, do you have anything to plug?
Nope. We need to plug our charity stream.
That's right. Goku Day. A movie marathon for a cause is coming on May 9th in the afternoon. We will post more details in the coming weeks. But Aaron and I are going to be in person doing a watch along of 3 Dragon Ball Z movies.
Just 3?
I think it's just 3 unless we hit our stretch goal. And we can add on a 4th, but it should be a fun time. I know the movies have been high on the list of things for us to cover out there in the community. So we're finally going to get to some because we haven't done that in a while. And we're going to tie it in and raise money for a great cause, Cancer Research Institute, because we need to cure all this stuff and help us do some good. Stay tuned for all the links and stuff to start donating and
more
where you can watch.
To come.
But May 9th, Goku Day. We're going to be watching some movies that probably will feature that guy. Maybe there might be some guests, but it's going to be a fun time. So we're excited to do that. Also, Moonshot, their charity stream coming up Memorial Day weekend.
Yes.
So tune in and get your follows on over there, twitch.tv/Moonshot Network. Go over to Moonshot Pods. If you like us, you'll like that show. We love being part of the Moonshot Network. We salute the moon.
Thank you, Da Moon.
Thank you, Da Moon. Without you, we'd have no tides.
I appreciate your light at night, even if it's just reflected.
And I think with all those CTAs and things that we plugged, it's time to wrap it up. So
that's what Patrick meant. He meant CTAs. That's how that episode ends.
Now I have to say this. Whether you are podcasting under the sea or you're the Grand Kai of all that you see, baby, you gotta keep fighting.
Daddy-o.
Baby. See y'all at the roller rink.